Hey everyone, welcome back. Ever found yourself wondering, how do couples who seem totally different actually make it work?
Yeah, right.
That's what we're diving into today, this whole idea of opposites attract, versus those couples who seem like practically the same person.
Mhm.
We've got some research here that dives deep into the pluses and minuses of each, kind of like what works, what doesn't.
Definitely. And it's more nuanced than you might think.
For sure.
Yeah.
One thing that really surprised me going through all this was it wasn't just about the struggles opposites face. It was more like, hey, sometimes those differences are actually like superpowers.
Exactly. It's almost like they complete each other in a way that just wouldn't happen if they were too similar.
Yeah, totally. Like puzzle pieces, right?
Right.
And the source material we have even points out how being with someone different can push you to grow as a person.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a whole theory in psychology about this self-expansion, I think it's called. Like, we're kind of wired to seek out experiences and people who broaden our
Makes
horizons.
sense.
And a partner who's different, who better to like nudge you out of your comfort
It's
zone.
true. So you're not just comfortable, you're actually becoming a more well-rounded you.
Right, exactly. And get this, there was this one study that found couples with contrasting personality traits after 5 years, guess what? They were actually more satisfied in their relationships.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
So it's not just about putting up with differences, it's actually using them as fuel.
totally.
Okay, but I gotta ask, what about conflict? It seems like all that difference, wouldn't that lead to major clashes too?
Oh, for sure, it can. I mean, you think about communication styles, how you like to spend your free time, all that, bound to create some friction.
Right.
But here's the thing. Those opposite couples who are successful, they learn to manage that conflict. They figure out ways like active listening, actually compromising, carving out time for themselves to recharge in the way that works for them.
So it's not just magic, it actually takes effort and learning new skills almost.
Yeah, you got to be willing to put in the work.
Okay, so opposites can work, we've established that. But what about the flip side? What about the couples who are like super similar? Doesn't that make everything, smooth sailing?
Well, it definitely has its advantages. I mean, when you share values and goals, making decisions is way easier. There's often this really deep sense of understanding and empathy, too.
So it's like built-in emotional security, kind of.
Exactly. And that stability, a lot of people find that incredibly fulfilling.
Makes sense. So it's not like one is better than the other. It's more like recognizing the strengths of each, right?
Right.
And maybe the key takeaway here is no matter who you're with, whether they're your opposite or your, practically your twin, it's about finding that balance.
Totally. It's all about open communication, being willing to see things from their perspective.
Exactly. So as you think about your own relationships, past, present, future, here's something to consider. What if the ultimate relationship was one that had that stability, those shared values, but also the excitement of being pushed outside your comfort zone by someone who sees the world differently.
That's a really interesting thought.
Right. Food for thought, folks. And
Yep.
that's what we love about these deep dives, right? They're just the start.
Yeah, they get you thinking in new ways.
Exactly. So thanks for joining us and keep those conversations going.
Absolutely.
Until next time.